It was one of those perfect Saturday evenings in early summer, the kind that makes you grateful for a quiet life in a place like Willow Creek Estates. I had the grill heating up in the backyard, the smell of charcoal mixing with fresh-cut grass, and a cooler full of cold beer on ice. My colleagues from the architectural firm were coming over for a casual barbecue. Nothing fancy, just good food, good conversation, and a chance to unwind after a long week. I'd invited Sarah Jenkins, our new legal consultant who'd joined the firm 3 months earlier. Sarah had already saved us from a couple of messy zoning disputes with her sharp mind and calm demeanor. She was sharp, professional, and had a dry sense of humor that cut through the usual office chatter. I was looking forward to introducing her to the team. The neighborhood looked picture-perfect, as always. Tree-lined streets, manicured lawns, white picket fences that weren't actually required, but everyone seemed to prefer. Willow Creek had an HOA that kept things tidy, mailbox guidelines, no visible trash cans, that sort of thing. Most folks appreciated it. A little order in suburbia never hurt anyone. My phone buzzed. Sarah's name popped up. "David, I'm running about 30 minutes late." Client call went long. "No rush," I told her, balancing the phone while flipping burgers. She laughed softly. "Should be an interesting evening." I didn't think much of it at the time. Around 7:30, her dark SUV pulled into the driveway. Through the kitchen window, I watched her step out, tailored blazer, confident stride, briefcase in one hand. She checked the house number on her phone, a small, ordinary gesture. That's when 3 security guards from the HOA patrol emerged from the side of the house like they'd been waiting. Uniforms crisp, badges gleaming under the porch light. The lead guard, big guy, name tag reading Harrington, stepped right into her path. "Ma'am, I need to see some ID." Sarah stopped, clearly puzzled. "I'm here for David Carter's barbecue. I was invited." Harrington didn't budge. "Your name isn't on the approved guest list. For all we know, you're scoping properties for a competitor. We take security seriously around here." I froze at the window. This wasn't normal. I'd had guests over plenty of times without anyone batting an eye. Sarah tried to step around him. "This is ridiculous. David's expecting me." "Stop right there." Harrington's voice cracked like a whip. The other 2 guards, Ramirez and Klein, moved to flank her. What happened next felt like slow motion. Sarah took another step toward the door. Harrington grabbed her arm, hard enough to spin her. She stumbled, lost her balance, and hit the concrete driveway with a sickening thud. Her briefcase popped open, papers and a leather wallet scattering across the asphalt. "Stay down until we clear you," Harrington barked. "Maybe crawling will teach you some respect for the rules." I burst out the front door, heart pounding. "What the hell are you doing? Let her go." Harrington turned, hand on his radio. "Back off, Carter. This is official HOA business. Interference means fines and possible charges." I knelt beside Sarah, helping gather her things while glaring at the guards. She took my hand, stood slowly, brushed dirt from her blazer. But when she looked up at Harrington, there was no fear in her eyes, just cold, measured calm. "Are you all right?" I asked. She nodded once. "Perfectly fine, David. Thank you for inviting me." Then, to Harrington, "What's your full name, officer?" He puffed up. "Frank Harrington, head of security for Willow Creek Estates." Sarah's smile was small, terrifying in its certainty. "Good to know." She walked back to her car with perfect composure and drove away. The guards laughed as they climbed into their patrol SUV, joking about teaching real estate spies a lesson. They had no idea what they'd just done. I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Sarah hitting the pavement, heard Harrington sneer. By morning, I made up my mind. This wasn't going to stand. The HOA office sat in a tidy brick building near the community pool, marble lobby, polished wood, plaques everywhere announcing awards for excellence in community management. Margaret Reynolds, the board president, met me in her corner office. Silver hair in a tight bun, navy suit, the air of someone who'd spent decades wielding small powers like a club. "Mr. Carter," she said without offering a hand. "I assume this is about last night's security matter." "Security matter?" "Your guards assaulted my guest. I want them fired, a public apology, and assurance it won't happen again." She steepled her fingers. "Our personnel followed protocol. Your guest was unregistered, arrived during evening hours without prior notice. Red flags for potential property espionage." New rules, implemented last quarter. I never got any notice about new rules. Updates go out via email. Perhaps check your spam. Her smile was pure condescension. She slid a thick binder across the desk, dense legalese, pages of whereas clauses. Somewhere in there was my signature from closing day, agreeing to whatever they'd added since. This is insane, I said. When I bought here, the covenants were about lawns and paint colors. Communities evolve, Mr. Carter. We protect property values. I stood. Your guards committed assault. I'm pressing charges and suing. Her laugh was sharp. Feel free. We retain Ellis and Hawthorne, one of the best litigation firms in the state. A drawn-out fight will cost you $75,000. Easy. Or pay the fines. $1,000 for the unregistered guest, $500 for interference. $1,500 total. Reasonable, considering. I walked out shaking. She'd assumed I was alone in this. But Sarah wasn't just any guest. I called her that afternoon. David. She answered on the second ring. How did the HOA meeting go? About as badly as expected. They're claiming it was justified. Threatening to bury me in court fees. A pause. Don't pay the fines. Their chance to fix this expired last night. The line went dead. 2 days later, my lawyer, good guy, handles real estate closings mostly. Listened to the story with a frown. HOA cases are tough, David. Deep pockets, tired judges, high costs. You'd be looking at 60 to 80 grand. Win or lose. He paused. That stuck with me. Then Sarah called again. Can you meet me at my office this afternoon? 100 Federal Plaza, 15th floor. Ask for Sarah Jenkins. Federal Plaza, the big government building downtown. I arrived at 3 sharp. The security guard checked my ID. Ms. Jenkins is expecting you. The elevator opened to a reception area with the seal of the United States Attorney's Office. Sarah emerged in a charcoal suit, badge clipped to her lapel. Hello, David. It hit me then. Sarah Jenkins wasn't just a consultant. She was Sarah Elizabeth Jenkins, district attorney for the Eastern District. The woman Harrington had thrown down was the top prosecutor in the region. My world tilted. Sarah, you're the DA? She smiled. I've been consulting under an alias for an ongoing public corruption inquiry. Ethics board approved. Your neighborhood popped up in patterns of complaints, excessive fines, intimidation, questionable finances. Harrington hadn't just assaulted a dinner guest. He'd assaulted a federal officer. The emergency HOA meeting was called for Tuesday night. Over 100 residents packed the community center. Margaret stood at the podium, Harrington and his team behind her like bodyguards. We're here to address recent security concerns, Margaret began. Thanks to our vigilant team, a potential threat was neutralized. The doors burst open. Sarah strode in, flanked by 4 federal agents. She held up her gold badge. I am District Attorney Sarah Jenkins, United States Attorney's Office. This community and its actions fall under federal jurisdiction. Stand down. The room went dead silent. Harrington's face drained of color. That's the woman from Saturday. Margaret stammered. This is impossible. She was just a guest. Sarah's team wheeled in a monitor. The video played, crystal clear. Harrington grabbing her arm, yanking, Sarah hitting the ground. His voice, maybe crawling will teach you some respect. Gasps. Shouts. Phone's recording. Sarah spoke calmly. This isn't just about me. Our investigation uncovered systematic civil rights violations, fraudulent fines, embezzlement, extortion under color of law. Financial records flashed on screen. Phantom contracts, diverted fees totaling nearly $200,000. Harrington, you are under arrest for assault on a federal officer, civil rights violations, and conspiracy. Handcuffs clicked. Harrington sobbed as agents let him out. Margaret tried to slip away. An agent blocked her. Mrs. Reynolds, we have questions about these financial irregularities. The room erupted in applause, long, thunderous. Residents who'd lived in fear for years finally saw the mask come off. The story exploded. Video went viral overnight. National news picked it up. Hashtags trended. Morning shows called. The investigation snowballed. Federal agents seized records before anyone could destroy them. The pattern was clear. Invented violations to silence dissent, money siphoned through shell companies. Residents came forward, stories of $1,000 fines for mailbox colors, threats of liens over holiday lights. Veterans told they couldn't fly their flags. Harrington pleaded guilty fast. 6 months in federal prison, 10,000 in fines, 3 years probation, lifetime ban from security work. His 2 deputies cooperated. Similar sentences, same ban. Margaret faced racketeering charges. 2 years in prison, $500,000 in restitution. Her assets liquidated. The Queen of Willow Creek ended up in a small apartment, awaiting trial. The HOA collapsed. New board elected, transparent, resident-led. I got talked into vice president. We drafted the Willow Creek Rights Charter. No arbitrary enforcement, full financial audits, resident appeals. All illegal fines refunded. Over $50,000 back to families. State lawmakers passed reforms capping HOA powers, mandating oversight. 6 months later, I hosted another barbecue. Same grill, same backyard. But the air felt different, lighter. Sarah arrived on time, casual clothes, no badge visible. Neighbors greeted her like family. Mrs. Harlan from next door hugged her. You saved my house over a cheerful mailbox. A retired Marine raised his flag high for the first time in years. Kids played without fear of citations. As the sun set, Sarah and I stood by the grill. Real power doesn't need threats, I said. It just needs truth and the courage to use it. She nodded. Justice isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it starts with a dinner invitation. We raise glasses to a neighborhood reborn. No more petty tyrants. No more fear disguised as rules. Accountability had won. If you've made it this far, thank you for reading. Stories like this hit home because they've happened in neighborhoods just like yours, maybe even yours. What do you think about the line between necessary community rules and outright abuse of power? Have you ever dealt with an overreaching HOA or seen authority misused in everyday life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd especially like to hear your take on how we balance safety and order with basic fairness and respect. Your stories matter. Let's keep the conversation going.